During my freshman year of high school, I was asked to turn in an assignment about what I wanted to do as a career after leaving my senior year. I wrote down airline pilot, and throughout the 4 years I've been in high school, it hasn't changed once. Now, I'm 17 years old, currently a full-time high school student and student pilot, documenting my journey to help inspire others to take their first steps into aviation. With that said, welcome to Taking Flight. What's up, flight crew, and welcome to episode 1 of a brand new series on this channel documenting my journey from student pilot to private pilot. Although there are a lot of videos on YouTube explaining the process of becoming a pilot, there aren't any videos that I could find that document each lesson. I want to achieve just that with this series and show you exactly what training for your private pilot's license might look like. I do have to start with a disclaimer though. I have already started my training and I'm currently on lesson 5. And while I do have footage from lessons 1 through 5, it's not quite the quality I hope to achieve with these videos. So keep in mind, I'm starting this series with about 7 hours in my logbook. With all that said, let's go into today's lesson, which includes short and soft field takeoffs and landings and unusual attitude recoveries. First, I get to the airport early to do the pre-flight, set up the cameras, and brief the flight with my instructor. After takeoff, we flew to Lockhart Airport to work on some short and soft field takeoffs and landings. This definitely wasn't my first time practicing landings, but I was a little frustrated with my performance. I was tending to flare too high out of fear of flaring too late and hitting the ground earlier than I should have. Luckily, I did realize my mistake, but this is definitely not my best performance. Now, if you don't know what short and soft field landings are, let me quickly explain them. Short and soft field landings are exactly what the name implies, executed on short runways and soft runways, like grass and dirt. Since the airplanes at my flight school don't let us do soft field landings, we had to simulate them on the paved runway. After a few times around the pattern, we did a simulated go-round and then departed the pattern to go work on some unusual attitude recoveries. I actually found these to be a lot of fun, even though they were a little bit tough at first. I got the hang of it after a few repetitions though. After that, we flew back to the airport and taxied back. Now, let's rewind everything and debrief the flight. First, I'll give my performance about a 6 out of 10. My landings definitely could have been better. My unusual attitude recoveries definitely need a little bit of work. But according to my instructor, I was still within the standards, so that's why I'm giving myself above a 5. Let's go through what I learned though. First, although my landings weren't the best, I was able to recognize what I was doing wrong. I was flaring a little bit too early, and then I had to pull excessive back pressure to get the plane to touch down on the runway smoothly. It felt really abrupt, and I didn't like it, even though the landing itself was pretty smooth. Next time, I'm going to work on the timing of my flare and make it a smoother transition from the round out. I did feel like the procedure of the power off 180s and the short and soft field landings were good though. I just need to keep those skills sharp so I don't lose them before my check ride. Second, my unusual attitudes do need some work. We did about 6 of them, and by the 5th one, I was feeling pretty good about it, but I definitely wasn't proud of the first 3 or 4. When I opened my eyes, instead of using the airspeed as my main reference, I sort of relied on my sight picture, which is definitely not what you want to do. My instructor was trying to throw me off by keeping a low airspeed with a nose-low attitude, but I still should have referenced my airspeed first instead of my sight picture. I did notice when I looked at my airspeed first though, my responses became a lot quicker and a lot more accurate. I'm going to keep that in mind when we work on these in the future, and you should also remember to reference your airspeed first when working on unusual attitude recoveries. All in all, it was a good lesson. It definitely left me with some good homework to work on, and my next lesson isn't going to be for another few weeks, as my instructor is out of town and I'm still waiting on my medical. In the meantime though, my goal is to take my written exam and get that knocked out of the way. With that said, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it and subscribe to this channel, and also follow me on TikTok and Instagram. Those links will be down in the description. As always, stay safe and proficient, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Happy flying!